Okay, let's just jump right in. Most of us think Social Security is pretty simple. You work for decades, you finally hit retirement, and you and your spouse each claim your check. Simple enough, right? Well, what if I told you there's a rule, kind of buried in the fine print of the Social Security system, that could literally change your financial future, adding tens, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars to your retirement income? But here's the catch. Most people have no idea it even exists.
And I'm asking you this seriously because for so many retired couples, the answer is a definite yes. See, without understanding how to coordinate your benefits as a team, you could be unknowingly walking away from money that you are 100% entitled to. And let me be clear, this isn't some shady loophole. This is about understanding the system the way it was actually designed to work.
And we are not talking about a few extra bucks here. The numbers are staggering. We've seen examples of couples who've added more than $100,000 to their total lifetime benefits just by getting this one thing right. And get this, they didn't have to save another dime. They didn't take on any crazy investment risk. The only thing that changed was their strategy.
So, what is this so-called hidden rule? Look, it's not like it's some top secret government file. We call it hidden because it's almost never talked about, and it's definitely not something that happens automatically. It requires you to be proactive. It's a fundamental part of how Social Security is supposed to support married couples, but it's a feature that just goes completely unused most of the time.
So why on earth do so many people miss out on this? Well, think about it this way. The Social Security Administration's job is to process your application. They're like a cashier at a store. They'll ring up whatever you bring to the counter. They are not your personal financial planner. They're not going to sit you down and say, hey, wait a minute, did you know there's a much better way to do this? If you don't know the right questions to ask, you're probably never going to know a better option was even there. So how do we find this extra income? Well, at the very heart of this entire strategy is something called the spousal benefit. This is the key. You have to understand this piece first. It was originally put in place to protect spouses who earned less over their careers, but today its power can help all sorts of couples. So here's what that means in plain English. Your Social Security isn't just about your work history. If you're married, you might be able to claim a benefit based on your partner's lifetime earnings. This whole idea was created decades ago to make sure spouses, back then mostly women, who spent years out of the workforce raising a family, still had some financial security in their golden years. And this right here, this is the magic number. A spouse can get a benefit worth up to 50% of what the higher earning partner gets at their full retirement age. Let me just say that again because it's huge. Up to half of your spouse's primary benefit. For couples where one person made a lot more than the other over the years, this is an absolute game changer. Let's put some real numbers to this so you can see it in action. Let's meet John and Lisa. At full retirement age, John's benefit from his career is $3,000 a month. Lisa's, based on her work history, is $1,000. Now, if Lisa just files on her own, she gets her $1,000. But because of the spousal rule, she has another option. Half of John's $3,000 benefit is $1,500. And since $1,500 is more than her own $1,000 benefit, Social Security gives her the higher amount. That's an extra $500 in their household every single month. Okay, now this is a detail you absolutely cannot miss. This trips up so many people. Let's say John decides to be strategic and waits until age 70 to claim his own benefit. That's a great move for him because his check will grow by about 24%. But, and this is a big but, it does not increase Lisa's potential spousal benefit. Her calculation is always based on what John's benefit would have been at his full retirement age, say 67. His delay only boosts his check, not hers. It shows you just how important timing really is. All right, now we have to get a little more technical because the rules of the game have actually changed. To really nail this strategy down today, you have to understand a weirdly named rule called deemed filing. It totally changed how couples can claim their benefits. There is literally a line in the sand here, and it's all based on your birthday. If you were lucky enough to be born before January 2nd, 1954, you could use this really cool trick called a restricted application. It let you claim just your spousal benefit first, while your own benefit kept growing in the background. But for pretty much everyone planning retirement now, anyone born after that date, a new rule called deemed filing is in charge.
So what does deemed filing actually mean for you? It's pretty simple, actually. You can't pick and choose anymore. The moment you file for your Social Security, you are deemed to be filing for everything you're eligible for, your own benefit and a spousal one. Social Security just looks at both, runs the numbers, and gives you whichever one is bigger. That's it. So some of the old strategies are gone, but that just means we need new ones.
So if that old trick is off the table, are we just out of luck? Not at all. In fact, under these new rules, coordinating your claims as a couple is more critical than it has ever been. It's all about creating a sequence, a timeline for how and when each of you files to get the most money for your household over your entire retirement. Let's bring in another couple, Mark and Susan, to show you what I mean. They both want to retire at 62. Strategy 1 is the easy path. They both just file for Social Security right away. Sure, they get money coming in immediately, but they've also just locked in a permanent pay cut for the rest of their lives. Now, strategy 2 is the coordinated approach. Here, Susan, who earned less, claims her benefit at 62. This brings some cash into the house. But Mark, the higher earner, he waits. He delays taking his benefit all the way until he turns 70. And this is where the magic happens. Look at these numbers. With strategy 1 claiming at 62, their combined monthly check starts around $3,000. And if they both live to age 90, they'll collect about $1.2 million in total. Now look at strategy 2. Yeah, their income is way lower at first, just Susan's $840 a month. It's a sacrifice. But because they let Mark's benefit grow, their total lifetime payout jumps to around $1.5 million. This chart just says it all, doesn't it? That's a $300,000 difference in lifetime income. I mean, just pause and think about that. Mark and Susan didn't work longer. They didn't save more. The only thing that separates that first bar from that second, much bigger bar is a plan. That is the power of coordination. And by the way, once Mark finally does file at 70, Susan's benefit gets a second look, and she'll get bumped up to her spousal amount if it's now higher for her. It's a win-win. And hey, this isn't just for people who are currently married. These powerful rules can also apply if you're divorced. If your marriage lasted at least 10 years and you haven't remarried, you might be able to claim a benefit on your ex's record. And here's the part that always surprises people. When you do that, it has zero impact on your ex or their new spouse. It's not their money. And for widows and widowers, the rules are often even better, potentially letting them claim up to 100% of their late spouse's benefit. So we've gone through a lot of numbers, a lot of rules. If you walk away with just one thing from all of this, what should it be? Well, it really boils down to one simple, powerful idea that can totally reframe how you think about retirement. I love this quote. It says everything. That nearly $300,000 difference from Mark and Susan, it didn't come from some hot stock tip or a lucky inheritance. It came from knowledge. It came from planning. The Social Security system can either be a simple paycheck or it can be a powerful tool, and the only difference is strategy. So what does a winning plan actually look like? Well, it really boils down to 3 simple steps. First, you coordinate as a team. The main goal is usually to let the bigger benefit grow as long as possible because that also protects the surviving spouse down the road. Second, you can use the lower earner's benefit as a kind of income bridge to help you get by in those early years. And third, you have to remember that Social Security is just one piece of the puzzle. How you take money out of your other retirement accounts, like your 401k, can affect how much tax you pay on your benefits. It all has to work together. And that really brings us to the final thought here. We've uncovered one massive hidden rule today in retirement planning, but it's probably not the only one, is it? Our financial world, from taxes to investing, is filled with these complex systems. Knowing the rules isn't just a nice little advantage, it's absolutely essential if you want a secure future. So the real question to ask yourself is, what else might you be missing?